we will be opening up the cone and bring it down to flat surface, right? So just check, when you bring it down to the flat surface, what do you get? That is a part of the circle, right? And now how do we find area? That would be the curved surface area. So clearly we know the perimeter is 2 pi r, right? Perimeter of the circle is 2 pi r, and this part will, of course, it is a part of the circle, right? Now how do we find the curved surface area? So this is a small activity. Imagine that the actual part, we are breaking that part into two parts. Okay, one is the blue part and other is the red part. So what will happen? So suppose we can make many cutouts of that. Let us keep 4 dissections. So what are we going to do? This circular structure, we are going to open it up and place it in such a format that it would look like a rectangular structure. So just check, students, very carefully what we are doing. We are going to open it up. We are going to open it up. So on your screen, you should be able to see, we are opening up the circular structure, and there you can see that has become a straight line. And now we are trying to adjust the blue part over the red part so that it becomes a rectangular structure. And that's how mathematicians, they got this formula, which is pi rl. Okay, so if we arrange this, we get a rectangular structure like that. And for this rectangular structure, the length is 2 pi r and the breadth is L. L, that is the slant height, right, students? So we know what is the formula for area of a rectangle. It is length into breadth. And when we multiply the length, that is 2 pi r, with the breadth, that is L, that gives us the formula pi r L. All right. So that is how we get the, or that is how we derive the formulas for curved surface area and total surface area of a cone. Next, let us look at how to find the volume of a cone. Now, before we find the formula, let us do a small activity and try to relate what is the volume of a cone and volume of a cylinder. Okay, so look at the two apparatus that we have taken on the screen. Look at them carefully. The vertical height of the cylinder and the vertical height of this cone, both are exactly same. Okay, first thing, the heights are same, and second thing, the radius is also same for both of them. Okay, with these two apparatus, a cylinder and a cone, we are going to conduct an experiment to check what is the relationship between the volume of a cone and the volume of cylinder. Okay, so let's get started. Observe it carefully. We are filling the cone and then we are pouring it into the cylinder. So we did it once and now we have done it twice, and again we are still able to put some more liquid in it, and there you see that 3 times the volume of a cone is the volume of cylinder, right? And that is how we derive the formula. So we already saw what is the volume of a cylinder. Volume of cylinder is pi r squared h, and here this is thrice, 3 times the cone is equal to the volume of cylinder. So this 3 is in multiplication over here. It moves to the other side and that becomes division. That's how we get the formula for cone. It's 1 upon 3 pi r squared h. Isn't that interesting? How nicely these geometrical structures, they are interrelated to each other. With this, let us look at the application-based questions on volume of cylinder and cone both. So the generalization goes like this, that if both the cone and cylinder, they have same height and same radius, then volume of a cylinder is 3 times the volume of cone. All right, just quickly look at it once again. Look at it once again. What is happening here? we are filling the cone, and how many times is the cone equal to the volume of cylinder? So it is 3 times. Always remember this, it is 3 times. 3 times the volume of cone is equal to the volume of cylinder. So that is 3 times. So here is a problem. Okay, a small application based question, and you have to try to answer it. All right, students. So the question is, you can see a sad face over there on the screen. Why is this person sad? This person's name is Mr. Mohan. All right. And Mr. Mohan has only a little jar of juice. He wants to distribute it to his 3 friends. All right. This time he chooses the conical shaped glass, so that quantity of juice seems to be appreciable, because he has only that much juice and he wants to equally distribute it to 3 of his friends. But he's confused. Will I be able to do this? Okay. Will the friends be happy? Will they get equal amounts? Those are the questions in his head, and he's really worried. So let's see if geometry can help him somewhere. So what he does, he chooses the glasses with equal heights and with equal radius. Okay, you can see for the radius of the can and radius of the glasses is same. Likewise, the height of the can and height of the cones are also same. And then let's see. So he tries to pour in some juice in the first glass. He is left out with some more. He tries to fill it in the second glass. And there you see all the 3 glasses are full. And now look at the face of Mr. Mohan. Isn't he smiling? Oh, great. So this is how geometry can be applied to real life. You have to remember this, that volume of a cone is 3 times the volume of a cylinder, provided the height and the radius both are same. Let us look at one more application based question on this. Like you can see there, which shape is better for collecting resin from the tree? Now we all know that resin from the tree is collected for industrial use, right? So what type of structures do they attach to the tree so that the resin gets collected and the tree is not damaged? Okay, so we have 2 options. Either the company can think of attaching a conical structure like that, or they can think of attaching a cylindrical structure like that. Now think, students, which is good for the tree and also for the company? Which structure is good? Either one of them is going to work. Okay, so the question is for you all, which structure is beneficial for the company? Okay, and the tree should not be damaged. So think on it. We know that the cone is very small. Comparatively, the volume of cone is 3 times the volume of cylinder. So of course, volume of cylinder is more, right? And what would happen if the volume of the cylinder is more? Of course, the weight, the pressure on the tree would be more, isn't it? So to fix that particular cylinder to the tree, to keep it attached, even when it is filled up. So what is the company going to do? The company is going to attach long and thick needles to the tree, isn't it? So what will happen? So just check. For the cone, they will use long, but the weight of the cone when it is filled, it would be light as compared to the cylinder, right? And small needle will be required to stick it in the tree, so there is little harm to the tree. Whereas when we look at the cylinder, long needles will be required to stick it in the tree, and that's why there would be more harm. So which structure is beneficial? Of course, it is the conical structure. Okay, so that's how surface area and volume come into picture, and they can really help us out in real life applications. So what have we done today? We have looked at the formulas, the various formulas that will be used for solving problems. The first one is area of base of a cone. We know the base of a cone is circular structure. So that would be pi r squared. What about the curved surface area of a cone? That is pi r l. The total surface area of cone, that is pi r, r plus l. And finally, we saw the volume of a cone, that is 1/3 the volume of cylinder, which is pi r squared h. With this, we will be doing some problems from your textbook. So that is the first question. Radius of base and perpendicular height of a cone is given, and we are asked to find its slant height. Okay, students. So what is the relationship between R, H and L? Let us look at it by drawing a figure. Yes. So that's a conical structure like that. And the perpendicular height is h, whereas this is the radius, right? So this is the height h, that's the radius, and the slant height is L. So if I just pull out the triangular structure, it will be like this, and we know when the triangle is a right angle triangle, we can apply Pythagoras theorem to it, right, students? So what is the Pythagoras theorem? It states that hypotenuse squared is equal to side square plus side square, right? So what is the hypotenuse here? Hypotenuse is the side which is opposite to 90 degree. So that will be L squared equals to H squared plus R squared. So this is another formula added to the list, and it is also very useful because in most of the problems we will be using this formula. In case we are given like two things will be given, slant height is given, height is given, and we will have to find R first, right? So this formula is really helpful. L squared is equals to H squared plus R squared. Let us look at the first problem. That is, we are given here R and we are given H. So we are just substituting the values. H is 8, so that will be 8 squared, plus R is 6, that will be 6 squared. And solving this, what do we get? Please try out the problems with me. So 8 squared is 64, plus 6 squared, that is 36, and that would give us how much? That would be 64 plus 36 would be 100, right, students? So we are left with L square equals to 100, and to find L we have to get rid of this square. That would be opposite of square would be square root. So taking square root on both the sides, we get L equals to root of 100. So L equals to what? L equals to root of 100 is 10. So that's how we got length. Length is 10 centimeters. Let us try to solve the second part now. So for the second part, we are given the radius and height. We are asked to find the slant height, that is L. Again, we are using the same formula. L squared equals to H squared plus R squared. So substituting the values, H is 12. So 12 squared plus radius is 9. That is 9 squared, which would be 144, plus square of 9 is 81, and then adding them up, what do we get? That would be 225, right? 225. And this is L squared. We are supposed to find L. So taking square root, because we are getting rid of the square, so we are going to put square root on the other side. So that will make it square root of 225. Right, students? Now, if you are really good at square roots, you will be easily able to find the square root, but still, let me help you out with this. So just to do prime factorization, that would give you 5 4s are 20, 5 5s are, and 5 9s are 45. If you bring it down, you get these factors, and we know that to get rid of the square root, we have to pair the common factors in group of 2's, right? And 5 would come out of the root, and likewise 3 would come out of the root, and that would give us 3 times 5. The answer is 15. Okay, students, that's how we can find out the root. So L equals to 15, and the unit is centimeter. So L equals to L equals to 15 centimeter, like that, right? For this chapter, especially for surface area and volume, it is suggested that you should try to by heart at least squares till 25, at least till 25. Let us look at next question. So what are we given? We are asked to find the slant height, that is L. Then we have to find the curved surface area, that is pi RL. Next, we are asked to find the total surface area, that is 2 pi R plus L. Sorry, it will be pi R plus L. And finally, what are we given? We are given radius and height. Also, we are given pi, right? So whichever value of pi is given, we will strictly use that value. Correct, students? So let's begin. First thing, we have to find L. So how do we find L? We know the formula for L squared is R squared plus X squared. What are we going to do? Simply substitute and calculate. So try out this problem with me. R is equal to 12. So substitute 12 squared plus height. Height is 16. So that is 16 squared. What is 12 squared? 144. What is 16 squared? That is 256. So you see, when you by heart the squares till 25, you would save your time here where there are squares, and also where you have to find the square roots. Right, students? So adding up, we would get the total to be 400, right? So L squared equals to 400. And then to get rid of the square, we put square root. That would be square root of 400. And what do we get? Square root of 400 is, square root of 4 is 2, and square root of 100 is 10. That would give us 20. So that's how we got length. Length is 20, and very important, we have to put the units. So we got length equals to 20 centimeters. Okay. And then we move to the next part, that is we have to find the curved surface area. So what is the formula for curved surface area? Try to memorize the formulas now itself in this class. So what is the CSA? The curved surface area is pi RL. We are given all the values. You just have to substitute and solve. What is pi? That is 3.14. The radius is 12. And what is the length? Length is 20, right? So simply multiplying this out, what do we get? That would be 3.14 into 240. The decimal point will move because of 10. That would be 31.4 into 24. And then simplifying, what is the answer? That would be turn out to be 753.6 centimeters squared. Okay, that gives us the CSA. The CSA equals to 753.6 centimeters squared. I hope you all are solving with me. And then we solve the third part, that is total surface area. So how do we find total surface area? What is the formula for total surface area? That is pi R plus L, right, students? So TSA stands for total surface area, that is equals to pi R plus L. We are just substituting. So what is pi? Pi is 3.14 times radius. What is the radius? Radius is 12 times R plus L, that is 12 plus L. And what is L in this case? It is 20. So you see, even though the height is given, we are not using height in the actual, in the second and third part, but to find the length, the slant height, we need height. All right. So first, always try to find out L, even though it is not asked, because sometimes to make this question a little difficult, a little tricky, it is not stated that you are supposed to find slant height. You would be straight away given the question, find the curved surface area and total surface area. So for a cone, always remember, both the formulas, they require slant height and not the height. So start with finding out the slant height first using this formula, that is L squared equals to R squared plus X squared. And now just try to simplify this problem. So this would be 3.14 times 3.14 times 12 times, adding this up, you would get that to be 32. And now simplify it to get the total surface area. So simplifying, what do we get? Yes, try to solve this out. Take 10 seconds. And multiplying this out, you should get 1205.76 centimeters squared. This is the total surface area. I hope most of you must have got the answer, right, students? That's the total surface area. Now, let us try to look at the next question. With the very basic formulas, this chapter is really easy, and you can find and you can score really very good marks if you are good with the formula. So don't confuse yourself. Try to always chart it out and by heart the formulas in comparative way. That is really good for your brain and it helps in long-term memory. So the third question, the total surface area of cone is given. So let us write out what is given. We are given that the total surface area is 704 centimeters squared, and we are given the radius that is equals to 7 centimeter, and we are asked to find the slant height of this cone. So slant height is L. L equals to question mark. Right, students? So find the slant height of the cone. We are given the total surface area, the radius, and of course we are given the value of pi, that is 22/7. This question will be asked for 3 marks. Right? What are we asked to find? To find here, let me write it out over here, to find L. And then the solution, how do we begin? We begin with whatever is given. So we are given the total surface area. We start with total surface area. So TSA, that is equals to 704. And what are we going to do next? We will replace TSA with the formula. What is the formula? That is pi r plus L, which is equal to 704, right? And now you can clearly see that just substituting and solving for L, we can get the answer, right? So once again, let me write it out over here. Pi r plus L, that is equals to 704. We are just going to replace the pi and r. So what is the value of pi? Pi is 22/7 times what is the radius, that is equal to 7, and r plus L. So r is 7 plus, we don't know what is L, so we write L as it is, that is equal to 704. Good so far, students? And then we see 22/7 into 7. So multiplication, 7 and 7 will get crossed out. We are left with 22 times 7 plus L, which is equals to 704, right? And what will be the next step? We get rid of this 22. 22 is in multiplication over here. It would move to the other side. That would become division, right, students? So we are left with 7 plus L, that is equals to 704 divided by 22. So try it out. Dividing, what do you get? Try to cross it out using the table of 2 and then the table of 11, or you can simply reduce it using 22. What will be this division? Yes, students. So that would be 7 plus L. That would be 7 plus L equals to 704 divided by 22. That will be like, if you reduce it using 2, that would be 11 over here. 2 3 are 6, 2 5 are 10, 2 2 are 4. And then with the table of 11, you can cross that out as 11 times 1 and 11 times 3 is 33 and 11 times 2 is 22, right? So we get 7 plus L, that is equals to 32. Good so far? And now to bring L by itself, we have to get rid of this 7. So how can we do that? We move this 7 to the other side. 7 over here is an addition. That side it will subtract. So L equals to 32 minus 7. That would give us L equals to how much? 32 minus 7 is 25. So we got length, that is the slant height of the cone. And what is the unit? The unit for radius is centimeter. So here the length is also centimeter. Therefore, the slant height of cone is equals to 25 centimeters. Isn't that easy, right? So always start with writing out what is given, what are we asked to find. In case if you wish, you can just put one more thing over there. You can write the formulas that we are going to use here. The formula was total surface area formula, and then you can start with the solution. So if you go in a systematic order, you would never go wrong, and you get a clear picture like what is given and what we are supposed to find. So the roadmap should be ready, and that would be really easy to solve them. Let us continue with the next question. Question number 4. So what are we given? We are given that area of the base of a cone is 1386 centimeter squared, and the height is given to be 28 centimeter. We are asked to find its surface area. So let us write out what is given. So what is given? We are given area of the base. Now, what do you mean by area of the base? So area of the base is a circular structure, right? So the area of base is given, area of base, that is area of circle, that is 1386 centimeters squared. And also we are given the height. So height equals to 28 centimeter, and we are asked to find the surface area. Okay, find its surface area. When it is not mentioned if it is a curved surface area or if it is a total surface area, what should we find? So the surface area that we are asked over here, we will find the curved surface area. Okay, for total surface area, it will be clearly mentioned that find the total surface area. So what are we asked to find? To find its surface area, that is pi rl. Okay, we have to find the curved surface area here. And what is the formula that we use? You can write it out like this. The formula for CSA, that is equal to pi rl. And let us start with the solution. So for the solution, if you check, students, we don't know what is L, we don't know what is R. So to solve clearly, now you see how the roadmap would work. We don't know R, we don't know L. So how do we begin? We start with whatever is given. So area of base is given. We start with looking at area of base, and that would help us to give R. Once we get R and H, we can find L, right? And finding L, we can find out the formula. We can find out the curved surface area. So just to give you the roadmap, first step 1, we will find the radius, right? Step 1, we find radius, and then using radius and height, step 2, we will find the length, and finally the step 3, that will be to find the curved surface area, because we got radius, we got L, and we can find curved surface area easily. right? So let us begin with step 1, that is the radius. So area of base is given. Just a minute, students. So there we go. What is the formula for area of base? So that is a circular structure. We know area of base or area of circle will be pi r squared. So pi r squared is equals to 1386. All right. We substitute the values over here. So pi, we know pi is given to be 22 over 7 times the radius squared. What is the radius here? We don't know the radius, so we keep it as it is, which is equals to 1386. Now, the next step, we keep r squared as it is on this side, and we will shift 22 and 7, right? 7 is in division over here. It moves to the other side, and that would be multiplication, right? So 1386 times 7. 7 has moved to the top. So remember, whenever a fraction is moving to other side, it will become upside down. The numerator will become denominator, and the denominator will become numerator. Fine, that's easy, right? So 7 over here is in denominator, it moves to the top, and 22 is in numerator, that moves to the bottom like that. And r squared equals to, now you can reduce this up. So using the formula, using the table of 2 or table of 11, altogether 22, you can use that. So 2 times 6 is 12, 2 times 9 is 18, and 2 times 3 is 6. And now you see, you can reduce this using the table of 11. So that would be, yes, 11 times 1 is 11, 11 times 6 is 66, and 3 is 33, right? So we are left with, now check, very important step, students, very important step. R squared, we got that to be 63 times 7. Don't multiply, because smart moves, smart calculation to save time, right? So should we multiply this? No, not at all. Don't multiply. We have to find r squared. That means we have to find r. That means we have to get rid of the square. So what we will do, we will, just a minute. Yes. So we are supposed to find the square root. So r is equals to square root of 63 into 7, right? We will have to put a square root on the other side. And now factor out this 63. So that would be 9 times 7 is 63, right? And we know 9 can be further factored as 3 into 3 into 7 into 7. That's what we get. And we know we can group up. So grouping up like that, we got r easily. So no need to multiply. Simply you can factor it out and get the answer. So here we got the radius to be 21, and the unit is centimeter. So that's how we got the radius to be 21 centimeter. So we are done with step 1. Then we move to step 2. What is the next step? We have to find L. And what will be the formula? So the formula to find L is L squared equals to R squared plus H squared. Yes. So there we use that formula to find the length, right? So here we solve it. We know L squared equals to R squared plus H squared. Remember, you have to by heart squares till 25 at least. So 21 squared plus H, height was given, that is 28 square. See, a number more than 25 has also occurred here. So you can, of course, by heart the squares till 30. It will be very good for calculations. So 21 squared, that is equals to 441, and square of 28, that is 784. Adding them up, you would get 1225. So L squared is 1225. And then we have to square root, right? So L will be equals to square root of 1225. What are we supposed to do? How to find the square root? Simply do prime factorization, right, students? So this will go with 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 4s are 20. 5 5s are 25. 5 4s are 20. 5 9s are, and we see 7 times 7 is 49, right? And if we pair the numbers, or if we pair the common factors together, we see we get a 5 over here and a 7 over here. So that would be how much? That's 35, right? So that gives us the length to be 35 centimeter. We are done with step 2. So first we found the radius, then we found the length, and now the last part, we have to find the curved surface area. So we find the curved surface area next. What is the formula for CSA, students? I know you know it. Yes. That is equals to how much? CSA equals to pi r and L. We are given pi in this formula, that is 22 over 7. We got radius, that is 21, and we got the length to be 35. So just cross out the 7 here. That would be 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 5 is 35, and then we are left with 22 into 21 into 5. Just do the multiplications easily and you will get the answer, right? So multiplying, what are we left with? We are left with the answer, that is 2310, and the unit will be, it is area, so the unit has to be squared. So that will be centimeter square. That's how we got the CSA. CSA equals to 2310 centimeters squared. Always for mathematics, keep your presentation good, make it systematic, always highlight the answers, right? These are the tricks to score more or to score good, right? Okay, so with that, we will quickly look at what we did today. Let us quickly revise. We saw these 4 questions, and that is the homework. So today in this class, we saw how to find the curved surface area, the total surface area, how to find slant height, and of course, volume. Practice set 9.2 can be easily done using those formulas on the surface area and volume of cone. So that's for homework. I hope you enjoyed today's class and you understood everything. Thank you everyone for joining.